What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to test out the Cyberpunk 2077 with the AMD R9 270X 4GB version, both in 720p and 1080p resolution. Now, before I get on with this video, I appreciate it very much if you guys go ahead and hit that like button down below right now. Also, if you're new to my channel, please do consider subscribing, as I have tons of videos. If you want the most accurate FPS benchmarks on the latest games, then you come to the right place. So let's get right to it. As you can see, I am on the latest version 1.06, and I'm gonna start off with 1080p full screen on the lowest possible preset, keeping the resolution scale at 100% and the crowd density on low. Now, this is more of a rare 270X. It's a 4GB version. The majority out there are 2GB versions, so I would assume that this is probably performs a little bit better than your usual 270X 2GB version, but not much, I wouldn't think. So I have this card currently overclocked by 100 megs on the core and 100 megs on the memory clock, and it seemed to run pretty good. But unfortunately, it's really not the best card for this game. And for those of you not familiar with this older card performance, it's still a decent card, and it lies somewhere between an RX 560 and RX 570, somewhere in between there, because it does outperform the RX 560. So as you could see, we're starting off here at an average of mid-20s on 1080p. And it is quite playable at this frame rate, but I would not go any higher than low settings in order for it to be enjoyable on 1080p. Now, for this test, I will go on medium settings just to see how low the FPS drops. But other than that, on low settings, yes, it does perform pretty decent. On 100% full scale resolution, of course. I personally would not ever mess around with the full scale resolution. Any lower than that is really pointless, and the game is gonna look terrible. So as long as you could play this game on 1080p full scale, you should be good. Even at 720p full scale is good too, and we're gonna find out shortly how that performs. But as you can see, it's running pretty smooth, not too bad at all. Alright, let's jump into the medium settings, and then we'll focus on the 720p. Now, also something to note, that so far from all the hotfix updates all the way up to now, there is absolutely zero performance boost at all when it comes to FPS. Besides fixing some glitches in the game, the hotfix doesn't do anything to boost the FPS. I've tried all different versions. There's absolutely no difference at all. So for those of you who think that every time they come out with a new hotfix you're gonna get a better performance with your graphics card, especially the old ones, not at all. I've seen zero difference. Okay, so as you can see, we're on medium settings now. The visuals are a lot better, but the game is, starting to lag quite a bit. And at this point, I would conclude that it's definitely not enjoyably playable at all. So your limit here is going to be the lowest preset on 1080p. And you're going to be in mid to upper 20s, and might get even a little bit better performance, depends on your overclock. And once again, this is the more of a rare version, 4GB. I didn't even really know this thing existed, but I was able to pick this up quite a bit a while ago on the local Craigslist for a very good price. And in the beginning I didn't even believe it's a 4 gig, but I looked it up, and once I installed it, it does quite indeed shows that it's a 4 gigabyte VRAM. Alright, let's jump to 720p as we're done with the 1080p settings here. Okay, we'll start off on the lowest preset. Again, 100% scale resolution, not gonna change any of that. Let's see what we got here. Alright, that's pretty good. We might be even able to hit high settings on 720p. So as you could see, we are in the low 40s on the lowest preset. Now we're dropping a bit. More like upper 30s, low 40s at some areas. But it's running pretty good, very smooth.
He's fucking crazy!
Alright, let's take a look at medium settings here. Alright, so now we are in the low 30s, upper 20s. Still very smooth. And now the visuals are looking a lot better. So I would conclude that this game is very enjoyable with this graphics card on 720p on medium preset. Once again, you just have to let the idea of playing this game at 60 FPS go. Especially if you're on a budget and you have an older graphics card, or even some of the newer low-end ones, then you should be fine. And once again, we're on a version 1.06, which absolutely does nothing to performance on any of the graphics cards, AMD or NVIDIA. No performance boost at all. Alright, let's wrap it up with the last setting, which will be high, and motion blur off. So we're on high preset, 720p, full screen, full scale resolution. And now we're going to be mid to low 20s. And now the lag kicks in. Visually it looks good, but the lag is there. I would deem it unplayable at this point. So yeah, that concludes this test. As you could see, this game is playable with this old graphics card. I showed it to you here, both on 1080p and 720p. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.